In this recording, we're going to look at the topic of changing the subject. There'll be 2 videos on this topic, the basic and then one on more advanced changing the subject. So this is quite an important topic because it has links with higher level topics. Okay, so in all of these examples, we will make X a subject. How do we make X a subject? We need X by itself on one side of the equation and all the other letters on the other side. So what do we remove first? Well, it's X times A plus B. Last thing we did was add B, so we're going to take B from both sides first. So if I take B from the left-hand side, it disappears. If I take B from the right-hand side, we have C take away B. Now, how do I remove the A? Well, this is X times A. The opposite of times by A is divide by A, so I'm going to divide both sides by A. If I divide the left-hand side by A divided by A is 1. So we're left with 1x. And if I divide the right-hand side by A, we're going to write it as C minus B all over A. It's the same as C minus B divided by A. That's how we write it in algebra. So I'm going to just add my working out here on the right-hand side just to show what I'm doing to both sides. So first of all, I took B from both sides. Second of all, I divided by A on both sides. Okay, question 2. Again, we want X by itself. What have we done to X on the left-hand side? X divided by A plus B. Last thing we've done is add B. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of this B. So I'm going to take it away from both sides. Take it away from the left-hand side, it disappears. Take it away from the right-hand side, we have C minus B. This line here means divide. How do we reverse a divide? With times. I'm going to times both sides by A. If I times the left-hand side by A, divide by A, times by A reverses, I'm left with X. Now times by A, the best thing to do here is put it in a bracket because that means A times C minus B. Okay, here. So this is in a different order. If you see 2 is different from 3, because for 3 we've got it all over C. With 2 it's just the X is over A, just like one single fraction. Here we've got the whole expression AX plus B all over C. So X times A plus B all divided by C. The last thing we did was divide by C. So the first thing we're going to do is times by C. I times both sides by C. We've got AX plus B on the left-hand side and CD on the right-hand side. Now I need to get rid of the B. So I'm going to subtract B from both sides, which gives me AX on the left-hand side and CD minus B on the right-hand side. And now divide by A. Divide both sides by A. Disappears off the left. Let me write it correctly in algebra. CD minus B all over A. Okay, question 4. Opposite of take away A is add A. So first of all, I'm going to add A to both sides. Minus A plus A disappears. I'm left with X squared. U plus A. Now, how do you reverse a square? We need to square root. So we're going to square root both sides. Square root the left-hand side. The square disappears. I'm left with X. Square root the right-hand side. We have square root of U plus A. Okay, so on each page we have 7 questions. Maybe have a go at them yourself first. Put me on pause and unpause when you're done to see if you've got them correct. Okay, question 1. First of all, we need to take C off both sides, which gives us 4x is equal to W minus C. And then we need to divide both sides by 4, which gives us x is equal to W minus C all over 4. Question 2. Add t to both sides, which gives us dx is equal to 8 add t. Divide both sides by d, which gives us x is equal to 8 plus t all over d. Question 3. Minus 3 from both sides, which gives us x squared is equal to h minus 3. Square root both sides, x is equal to the square root of h minus 3. Question 4. Right, so here we want to get rid of the plus 2y first, so we're going to take it away from both sides, which gives us 2x is equal to p minus 2y. Then we're going to divide both sides by 2. Which gives us x is equal to p minus 2y all over 2. Question 5. The key to this really is being diligent and doing each step separately, or it can get a bit confusing. So we want the x to make x a subject here. First of all, we're going to add 3 to both sides, which gives us s plus 3 is equal to x squared. And then we're going to square root both sides. So we've got the square root of s plus 3 is equal to x. Question 6. First of all, we need to get rid of this s. So we're going to subtract s from both sides. So y minus s is equal to xz. Then we're going to get rid of the z. So we're going to divide both sides by z, which gives us y minus s all over z equal to x. And question 7. We're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Gives us x over n is equal to w minus 2. And then we're going to times both sides by n, which gives us x is equal to n times w minus 2. Okay, here are the next 7 questions. Question 8, we're going to add 5 to both sides first. So x over 6 is equal to w plus 5. Now we're going to multiply both sides by 6. Gives us x is equal to 6 bracket w plus 5. Question 9. Let's get rid of our c first by timesing both sides by c. So x plus 3 is equal to hc. Now let's get rid of the 3 by taking 3 from both sides. So leaves us with x on left hand side and hc take away 3 on the right hand side. Question 10. First of all, we need to get rid of the 1 by taking it off both sides. And now we need to divide both sides by 4. And then question 11. Take a from both sides. And square root both sides. Question 12. Add 4 to both sides, which gives us x cubed this time is equal to 5y plus 4. How do you reverse a cube? You cube root. So I'm going to cube root both sides, which gives us x is equal to cube root 5y plus 4. Question 13. How do I reverse the m? Times both sides by m. So x plus t is equal to 2cm. And then how do I get rid of the t? Take it off both sides. X is equal to 2cm, take away t. Question 14, times both sides by u. And how do I get rid of the w? Take it off both sides. And then the last 7 questions. Question 15. Divide both sides by pi. So we have a all over pi is equal to x squared. Now I need to square root both sides, but just be careful. The whole of the a over pi has to be a new square root. Here now, if it's half, I like to think of it and rewrite it as bx over 2 because dividing by 2 is the same as times by half. And then you can see, well, what do I do first here? Well, I times both sides by 2, which gives us 2a is equal to bx. And then get rid of the b by dividing by b. So we have 2a all over b equal x. Question 17. So how I want to get rid of the AB, and I want to do it together. So I'm just going to divide both sides by AB, which gives us V all over AB is equal to X. 18. Right, so I've got X times 2A plus U squared. Let's get rid of this U squared first by taking it off both sides. And then let's divide both sides by 2A. Okay, question 19. Right, so this is quite a tricky one here because x is the denominator. Do not want x on the denominator, so let's times both sides by x first. And then we just want the x, we don't want the r, so we're going to divide both sides by r. Question 20. Times both sides by b first, which gives us 5cx is equal to ab. Divide both sides by 5c. X is equal to ab all over 5c. And last one, 21. So it's x over k all cube rooted. So I need to reverse the cube root first. How do I reverse the cube root? Cube both sides. Cube the left-hand side gets rid of the cube root. Cube the right-hand side, w cubed. Now times by k gives us x is equal to k w cubed.